Hello, and welcome to my presentation on the implementation of AI into the workforce. You're more than likely, you've more than likely heard of AI at this point. It's an emerging technology that's brought us onto a new frontier of advancement as a whole. And whether or not you like it or hate it, whether or not you think about it at all, it's here to stay. People are invested and investing in it. Many major companies are interested in AI and are looking into startups constantly. According to the New York Times, $27.1 billion was invested in AI between April and June of this year, making up nearly half of all U.S. startup funding for that period. It's not far-fetched to say that this development will spawn a number of potential integrations of the technology, one of the most prominent being in the workplace. The cores of innovation and the workplace are deeply intertwined. Since the advances of the Industrial Revolution, the progression of technology has always had a hand in the progression of labor and vice versa. Take the steam engine, for example. The implementation of that into factories around the world has fundamentally changed labor as a whole. And from that labor, we've created new technologies. Taking this into consideration, it's important to understand that AI is a new level of technology, one capable of so much more than steam engines or even electric motors. It's able to mimic the human mind. Well, it's designed to mimic the human mind. And as such, it can perform increasingly more complex tasks. So where does something as capable as AI leave certain jobs? Automation has replaced human work before, but it's also made labor significantly easier for others. So how will AI affect the world going forward? Before we get into that, we need to kind of explain AI as a whole. There is no single AI program. It exists in several distinct forms, but is categorized based on its capability and functionality, what it can do, and how exactly it does that. Some of the first versions of AI that we've seen are reactive machine AI. Is this form of AI has existed for a long time, versions of it dating as early as the 1960s. Um, Now, these are primarily things like industrial robots, again, spam filters. It's a program that can only respond to certain inputs or stimuli, and it can only function based on what it can analyze within the moment, hence the name. It doesn't store specific information. It primarily sees something. It's designed to have an input and do something based on that input. If it sees a specific color, it will do a specific thing. If it hears a specific sound, it will do the specific thing that it was designed to do. Then we get on to limited memory AI. Now, limited memory AI is a more recent form of AI, dating us back to 2010s. Limited memory AI can utilize data it has already learned from to inform its own actions. It can even analyze large amounts of data, learn specific patterns from it, or even retain some of that information and predict certain outcomes based on that. And that would exist in the form of things like virtual assistants or chatbots. Now, generative AI. This is an offshoot of limited memory AI, but it is the preeminent and most prominent form of modern artificial intelligence. Without getting into extreme details, generative AI is a program capable of recognizing and predicting patterns in a number of different formats, including images, sound, and even language. It achieves this goal by learning from different sets of data, which can range from different series of images to academic essays. The name is self-explanatory. Generative AI generates different responses based on the kinds of data it's trained on. This means that AI programs like ChatGPT are capable of creating their own content. This could be videos or recordings, nothing incredibly complex because, again, AI in its current state is subject to the limitations of its time. It's not by any means perfect. Um, it's also important to consider the fact that this technology is still in its infancy. It isn't nearly as capable of performing certain tasks as the majority of human beings, so you won't likely see any major changes coming soon. Areas of implementation. Now, again, AI is, well, AI is valued by a lot of companies for its capabilities, but it still has many limitations. It's only currently applicable in so many fields. It's more suited to what are referred to as low-level cognitive demand tasks, as referred to in Automation, AI, and Work by Tyson and Zeisman. These low-level cognitive demand tasks are activities relegated primarily to things like data synthesis or simple communication. According to Arvind Krishna, the CEO of IBM, AI will largely be implemented into white-collar or clerical jobs. This essentially refers to positions like office work, data submission, or basic code development, things that AI can work on easily because it's good at recognizing patterns. These tasks are largely repetitive and so align with AI's ability to learn from patterns. Job replacement. The prospects for what parts of the workforce might be replaced with AI are still unknown, but plans to replace certain fields are already underway. According to the Wall Street Journal, around 3,900 employees within the tech industry have already been laid off as of May 2023 due to companies' interest in AI. Whether this is due to budget cuts made to accommodate investment in AI or the genuine automation of certain tasks is relatively unknown. At the same time, a report by CNBC stated that as of the same time that year, IBM planned to pause hiring for a significant amount of jobs. Arvind Krishna himself is quoted as saying that around 7,800 jobs in departments such as human resources could be done with AI and automation. Now, going forward from this, we see job transformation. So positions will more than likely change based around AI and how it's fit into certain fields. Despite the amount of work that AI might replace, the integration of this new technology, similar to the past, opens opportunities for drastic transformation in responsibilities or jobs of workers around the globe. Q et al. In their report find that in their study, despite how AI might surpass the capabilities of people in certain tasks, their results show that training with AI can boost the quote-unquote employability and performance of employees. Now, what exactly does that mean? A lot of AIs will take on responsibilities. A lot of jobs will take on responsibilities related to maintaining these new AI solutions, similar to how modern factory workers oversee the functionality of machines on like the product line. And this poses certain questions about companies' intentions with AI and how that relationship between the company and the workers might change. So this brings up several challenges. From the perspective of Agarwal, this brings up several challenges. My apologies. An equally important aspect of this issue is the matter of perspective. How are both sides going to see this? How are they going to relate to the use of AI? Where are they coming from? And for the most part, businesses, corporations, they see as AI as a way to increase overall efficiency. However, this comes at the cost of their labor force. This comes at the cost of the people who perform these certain tasks. Agarwal et al. State how AI as a resource may be easily substituted for labor. It refers to AI as what is called capital, which is essentially it's a resource. So you're seeing a change come about wherein the output that you're getting from a specific job or a specific task is related more directly, a considerably closer line between what a company is able to spend and what the intended outcome of a specific task is. So that means, well, some companies that might have more money could considerably replace more of their workers. And for workers, AI can be a threat to their livelihoods without understanding the possibility of newer and better positions. Q et al. Report that companies admitted AI could perform certain tasks more effectively, which could be a source for many employees. So there's this battle going on, not necessarily literally, but there is an issue, a conflict between people who want to hold on to the positions that they have and the possibility of future advancement made by certain companies, because as we all know, a lot of advancements come from what specific corporations are capable of performing. So how can we go about solving this issue? In their report, in their article, Rasser et al. State that technology in general can be used to make human life easier, but only if it is subjected to informed policy and good governance. The only way that we're really going to be able to curb the complete railroading of certain positions with AI is by implementing administration, via the administration implementing specific policies, specific laws that limit what AI is capable of. And for the most part, the full integration, the progression of AI technologies, it does pose certain challenges for the status of work in many fields. At the same time, this development will occur over decades at the very least, leaving ample time for solutions to many of the smaller problems that arise along the way. We're not going to see a lot of major changes happening overnight. We're going to see tiny issues come up first. And in order to do that, we need to be vigilant. There is no solution to there is no one solution to this issue. It will be a consistent battle between industry's inherent need for efficiency and the working people's strive for livable wages and available jobs. But the means to dealing with it exist. We see this every day with companies training their employees to utilize new technologies and techniques every day. We see this with unions taking a stand against unfair rules and making significant change. There are solutions. There are ways to solve this problem, but for that to come about, we have to keep a close watch on these issues. Thank you.